Right. So last class we have developed one ABAP report uh, to execute the SQL state to get the data from HANA database table. For that we have used ADBC framework. Okay. So now what we'll do is one second please. Yeah. Now we'll create one procedure and we'll try to consume that procedure from ABAP reports. Okay, so as I told you in the last class, we can consume the procedure from ABAP reports in two ways. One is first of all we need to create the ANA procedure in the database, then we need to expose it as database procedure proxy. Then we can call that particular database procedure proxy from where, from our ABAP report. Okay, and another way is by using ADBC framework. So first of all, let us create the procedure. We already know how to create the procedure. So far we are creating the procedure in SQL console. Okay, now let me create the procedure in another way. So before that, first let us understand complete syntax for creating the procedure. Complete syntax for creating the procedure. So the syntax is like this: create procedure, procedure name. Okay, create procedure name. And then as we know, if you want, you can specify some parameters. We have to specify some parameters. Okay, these parameters are optional. I can create the procedure either with parameter or without parameters. This is parameters. Already we know we have three types of parameters: in parameter, out parameter, and in out parameter. Next we have another optional addition called as language. Here we need to specify the language. Okay, I'll come to this point, language. Then after this we have something called as SQL security mode. SQL security mode. Okay, then we have another optional thing. If I enclose that in this square brackets, you have to understand that as optional. Okay, then we have something default schema followed by schema name. Schema name. Then the another option is reads SQL data. Reads SQL data. Okay, here only if you want we can specify with the result view name, with the result view name. Okay, and then we have to say as begin followed by the procedure body, and at the last you have to say end. Okay, so let us understand the syntax first. So here this part anyway we know we have to provide the procedure name, and if you want you can define the parameters. Then we have the language addition. Okay, so far we are not specifying the language. If you don't specify the language, by default it takes it as SQL script. The default language is SQL script. Default language is SQL script. So this is not compulsory. Even if you don't specify, it will take it as SQL script only. Then we have the SQL security mode. SQL security mode. Okay, so here I'll say this SQL security mode, it will have what, two values. It can be either definer or it can be what, invoker. Okay, definer or what, invoker. Okay, I'll tell you what is the meaning of this definer or invoker. Okay, and then default schema, anyhow we know. So default schema means here, default schema means we are instructing, okay, indicates that all the database objects, indicates all the database objects used inside the procedure body, used inside the procedure body, okay, will be picked from what, specified default schema. Understood? So inside this procedure body, we'll be using different tables, views, triggers, all those things. So every time we need to prefix with what, schema name. Instead of prefixing with schema name, I can provide that schema name as part of this addition so that it will understand that what are the database objects that we are going to use inside the procedure body will be picked from what, default schema. If you don't specify this default schema, if you don't specify the default schema, every time you have to prefix your object name with what, your schema name. Okay, and then we have this reads SQL data. Okay, read SQL data, what does it indicate? Read SQL data indicates that we are not going to, what, perform any data manipulation. Okay, any data manipulation, what, changes, and the processor will skip. Okay, try to understand this. And the processor will skip, okay, some privilege checks. It will skip on some privilege checks, okay, on the procedure. So suppose, assume that I am developing a procedure where I am going to use only select queries. Okay, where I am going to use only select queries. So what you can do, we can specify this particular option, reads the SQL data. So if you specify this, what it will do is, internally some, it will try to check some authorizations. It will skip all those authorizations if you specify this. Okay, assume that in case you are developing the procedure to perform some DML operations, like you might be using some insert, delete, or update statements. At that time, we should not use this read SQL data. If you use that, it will give you what, syntax error. I repeat once again, assume that you are developing a procedure where we are going to use only select queries inside my procedure body. So at that time, it is better we specify this particular reads SQL data so that the processor will skip some privilege checks. Okay, assume that you are using only select statements, and if you're not specifying this, nothing will happen. But what happens is, unnecessarily it will perform some privilege checks. So to improve the performance, if you are sure that we are not going to use any DML operation, so better we specify what, read SQL data. If you are performing any DML operation, we should not specify. If you specify, it will give what, syntax error. Okay, then already we have seen this particular syntax. What is that? Okay, let me document here also. We use the option, what is this, with result set. Okay, we use the option, what is that, with result set, or with result view, followed by what, view name. Okay, in the procedure, so that what happens, if you use this inside this procedure, it will returns, which returns what, table types. Okay, which returns table types as what, output parameters. Okay, and what we can say is, when we activate the procedure, already we have seen one example. When we activate the procedure, okay, it creates what, column view. It creates column view. Okay, it creates a column view. You can assume, if you know Oracle, this column view is similar to something called as materialized view. So in Oracle database we have a concept called as materialized view. Okay, so in case you are developing the procedure which will return some table type as return parameter, at that time, if you want to capture that return, if you want to capture that return data inside a view, we have to specify this option with the result view name. So what, whenever we specify this, what happens, whenever we activate the procedure, it will create the column view. Okay, in that column view we can query the data. Already we have seen one example, select star from dollar dollar, you have to provide that column view again, dollar dollar from dummy. It will return the data captured inside that particular column view. Okay, and coming to the security mode, we have two values. One is definer and invoker. I'll explain that when I develop the procedure. So this is the complete syntax for developing the what procedure. So now what I'll do is I'll quickly create one procedure and we'll try to consume that procedure from the ABAP report in what, two ways. Okay, so let's see that. Hope these options are clear. And there's one more thing, a language. What is the default language? SQL script. Okay. The other language supported is, there is something called as R language. Okay, so if you want, you can develop that particular SQL statement by using what, R language. So this is out of our discussion. We'll be using always what, SQL script. So there are two languages supported. If you don't specify any language, by default the language is what, SQL script. Okay, so let me develop the procedure first. I'm connecting to the server. Meanwhile, if you have any questions in this part, please ask me. Done. So let me open HANA Studio. So far what you are doing, we are creating the procedure inside what, a SQL console. By writing this particular entire syntax, we are developing the procedure. Now let me introduce to another way. We are in which perspective? ABAP perspective. Okay. So first what I'll do is, yeah, let me switch to modular perspective. Okay, I'm inside what, modular perspective now. Okay, inside this modular perspective, I'll tell you why I'm going for modular perspective. Generally we use what, development perspective only. Let me connect to the database. So I'll right click on this, I'll say log on. Right, so I'm in the modular perspective now. Okay, now inside this modular perspective, I'll go to this earlier what you are doing, in the catalog we are opening that SQL console. Okay, we are opening the SQL console, and in that SQL console we are developing. Now let me go to content. Okay, now in the content, okay, in the content there are some predefined what, packages available here. These are all the packages. A package, like already we know, what is a package in our ABAP environment. Similar to that, package a collection of what, objects. Okay, so let me take one of the package like ANA. Just try to understand this. One second. Yeah, so you can see here, I'm in which perspective here? Modular perspective. What is my agenda? I want to create a procedure. Okay, so let's see whether this navigation is supported for creating the procedure. So I am in the modular perspective. In the content folder, there are some packages available. We can create our own package also, but at this stage again we don't know how to create our own package. So let me right click on one of the existing package. one of the existing package. Right click on this. I'll say new. Okay, you can see here we have what procedure, new procedure. Okay, new procedure. When I try to create this, yeah, I'm getting an error. What is the error I'm getting? Creating a new procedure is deprecated in the modular perspective. Use the repository or project explorer view in the development perspective to create what stored procedures. So what it is saying is it is creating the procedure in this perspective is not supported, it seems. If you're working in the older versions before SP05, okay, we used to create the procedure in this modular perspective only. From SP05 they have deprecated that, and I need to use what development perspective to create the procedure. Hope it's clear to everyone. If you're working in the older versions, older releases before SP05, Service Pack 05, okay, then we used to what log into the modular perspective and right click on the package and say what create procedure. Now it is deprecated, it seems. Let us switch to what development perspective. So let me go to development perspective. How to switch to different perspective? In the window menu I can choose perspective. What open perspective, you can choose this one. Otherwise on the application toolbar I'm already having the HANA development perspective, so I'm switching to what HANA development perspective. Done. Okay, so I'm in the HANA development perspective. Now we have three tabs here. Okay, so far what you are doing in the systems tab, in the catalog menu we are opening what SQL, open SQL console. Okay, we are right clicking on our what schema and we are opening the SQL console. Okay, so here we used to develop the procedure. Now what I'll do is, now what is my requirement now? I want to consume it from what ABAP report. So that's the reason I'm not creating the procedure in that by using SQL console. Let me go to repositories tab. I'll go to repositories tab. Okay, in the repositories tab let me open this. Done. So again in the repositories tab you can see it is showing me different packages. Okay, it is showing different packages. Okay, in on one of the package, okay, and one of the package you have to right click and say what new so and so. Okay, so later on we'll see how to create our own package. So I can right click on this default, I can say new repository package, but I'm not going for creating my own package. I'll choose one existing package and let me try to create the procedure. Okay, so what I'll do is wantedly I'm going to some package like SAP. Try to understand. I'm in the repositories tab. We have a package here SAP. Okay, if I expand this, okay, in this we have some sub packages. We have some sub packages like BC and all those things. Okay, so now let me go to what this one SAP dot. Okay, what is the package here? SAP dot BC. Under this BC, okay, under this BC, under this we have EPM. I'll go to EPM. I'll go to OIA. I'll go to something DFG. Okay, so for the time being, when you're practicing your laptops also, please try to create the what your procedure in one of the existing package. Later on, we'll see how to create our own package. So what I did under SAP, under BC, under EPM, under OIA, we have another sub package. So I'll right click on one of the package what DFG. Okay, so this is a package which is already existing. Okay, so let me right click on this package. So one second, for my understanding let me document that. What is that? SAP dot BC dot, I'm just documenting the path here, EPM dot OIA dot DFG. Okay, so this is the in this package only. Let me create the procedure. So right click on this, right click on this and say new. Here we don't have what package option, so go to new other. So right click on one of the package and say new other. Wantedly I am creating that in a inner package. Okay, just to show you the path. Okay, new, I'll choose what, other. I'll choose other. Now here I need to check for the package. I need to what, check for what, stored procedure. So I can see under this SAP ANA. Okay, try to understand under this SAP ANA, under this database development. Okay, we have something called as what, stored procedure. Okay, otherwise if you are unable to locate here, let me search for what, database. Is it showing that database? Okay, I'll check for stored procedure. Okay, so if I type stored procedure, it is showing that where it is available under SAP ANA, under database development. I'll choose stored procedure. I'll say next. I'll say next. Done. Okay, so try to understand this. This is the overall path. Okay, slash SAP slash BC slash EPM slash OA slash DFG is the overall path. Under this you can see it is asking for the file name. Okay, so whenever we create a procedure, at the background one file will be created. One file will be created. I'll give the name of the file as, I'll give the name of the file as uh, name of the file is the name of the procedure. I'll give the name of the procedure as get underscore emp underscore data. Okay, I'm just giving the name of the procedure as what, get underscore emp underscore data. And you can see here it is asking for the file format. Okay, dot htdp procedure, whether you want to end the file with dot HTTP procedure dot ANA database procedure, or what is the other one supported is dot procedure deprecated. Deprecated means in future versions they may not support this. Okay, so I can choose dot HTTP procedure or dot procedure. Again, for the time being, please don't choose dot HTTP procedure. Choose what, dot procedure. Later on we'll discuss about dot HTTP procedure. So I repeat once again, this is my file name. What is the file name in the sense, procedure name. What is that, get underscore emp underscore data. And here in the file format, choose what, dot procedure, that is XML dot procedure. So at the background, it might create some XML file. So I'll just choose this, done. Okay, so file name is get underscore emp underscore data, which is nothing but the procedure name. It is asking target schema, in which schema you want to store your procedure. So already we have created our own procedure, our own schema, Gensoft SQL. Okay, I can store in that, but again, initially for the practice purpose, please choose a schema as, let me browse. Please choose a schema as sys underscore big. Let me browse for that. So what is the extension here? Dot procedure. If I choose dot HTTP procedure, the name of the file will be dot, extension would be what? Dot HTTP procedure. I am going for dot procedure here. Choose the target schema. Store your procedure inside a schema called as underscore sys underscore big. For today, please choose whatever I have chosen. Later on, we'll discuss why I've chosen that. So I'll choose what? Underscore sys underscore big. Say OK. Done. So what I did here, I repeat once again. In which perspective? In the ANA development perspective, in the repositories tab. Okay, in one of the existing package, right click, say what? New other, choose what, stored procedure, provide the name of the procedure. I give the name of the procedure as what, get underscore emp underscore data. At the background, ANA database will create some file, it seems, so we are not concerned about that file. This is the what, procedure name. And choose the file format as what, dot procedure. Don't choose dot HTTP procedure for the time being. Choose dot procedure. And it is asking which schema you want to store this particular procedure. I gave it as what, underscore sys underscore big. This is the predefined schema available in the ANA database. So just choose this. What is the extension of the file here? Dot procedure. Fine. Say finish. Okay, I said finish, done. You can observe here the template is auto generated here. What is the template here? Create procedure, create procedure, procedure name, done. It is asking the parameters. If you want to give any parameters you can give. And what is the language here? By default it is showing SQL script. And then what else? SQL SQL security invoker. What are the two possible modes here? Invoker or definer. I went for what? By default it is invoker, let it be invoker. I'll talk about this later on, leave it. So what is my requirement now? This procedure has to do some tasks. So what I'll do is, let me go to my schema. What is that schema? Gensoft SQL. Na? I'll come back to this later on. I'll go to systems tab. This is our schema. Let me take one simple table. I'll go to the table section. Okay. Let me check the signature of this EMP underscore department. Okay, we have this fine. Let me go for employee underscore department. Okay, done. So I'll do one thing. I'm not going for this because I'll have to type compatible issues. I'll talk about that later on. Let me quickly create one table. Okay, I'm creating a simple table. I'll give the table name as my EMP underscore department. I'll give the name of the column as EMP ID. I'll give it as integer. Done. Let me give another one. Employee name. Okay, I'll give the data type as n varchar. I'm not giving varchar. I'll choose n varchar. Why? Again, we'll discuss in the coming classes. I'll go for what? N varchar. Okay, done. These are the two fields, EMPID integer, ename as what? N varchar, done, done, done. Okay, let me just execute the procedure. Yeah, procedure is successfully created. What is the name of the procedure? My EMP underscore department, which has got two fields. Okay, done. Let me refresh this. Yeah, the procedure is created. Now let me right click on my procedure. Sorry, let me right click on the table, not procedure, table. Okay, I'll say generate what? Insert statement. I want the template for what? Insert statement. So right click on the table, say generate insert statement. It has generated the template. Let me quickly insert the data. So one, I'll say Raju one. Let me quickly execute this F8. Oh, why I got error? Why I got error? Inserted value too large for column. Okay. The problem is what? I gave the size as what? Only 1 year. Okay, so that's the reason. Let me just close this. Oh, I cannot edit now. I have to use alter statement. Instead of that, let me quickly create another table. I'll give the table name as my EMP department. The problem with the size. Okay, so I'll give the field name as EMP ID. Let me give it as integer. Okay, done. Next, I'll give it as ename. I'm not taking varchar. I'll go for n varchar. I'll give the size as something 25. Done. Let me execute this. Yes, the table is created. Now for this table, what is the table name? My EMP department. Let me generate the template. Generate what? Insert statement. I'll quickly give the data here. 1 Raju 1. Done. Let me execute this F8. Yeah, all the five records are what? Inserted. Okay, if you preview the content, right click on the table and say open content. I'll have what? Five records. Done. So my requirement is my procedure, my what is the table name? My EMP department, my EMP department, which is available in which schema? Our schema. What is it? Gensoft SQL. So I'll say create procedure. What is the procedure name? Get underscore EMP underscore data. It is created in which schema? Underscore sys underscore big. Then what is the requirement? It has to return me the complete table data. So since it has to return, I'll go for what? Out parameter. So out I tab. Okay. What is our schema name? Gensoft SQL. Gensoft SQL dot. Okay. Gensoft SQL dot. What is the table name? My EMP department. Done. Okay. Language is SQL script. Default SQL security invoker. Default schema. Yeah. Now here I'll choose a default schema as what is that? Gensoft Gensoft SQL. Done. And write your procedure logic here. Okay, so what is the logic you want to write? So reads SQL data. Let me keep this as it is because I want to use only the select statement. Okay. What is that? What is the return parameter name? ITab. ITab is equal to, I'll say select star from what is the table name? My EMP department. I need not prefix this table name with the schema name because already I mentioned default schema as what? Gensoft SQL. So whatever the database objects that we refer inside the procedure body will be picked from the specified default schema. Done. This is a procedure. Done. Language SQL script. Done. Okay. So let me save it. Hope it's clear up to this. Any questions so far? Please ask me. Just ignore this statement for this timing. This is automatically generated. I'll talk about this going forward. Other things, if you have any questions, please ask me.
Hi, Sridhar.
Yeah, Pularo, tell me.
Um, the general, which one you created in open console,
Correct?
okay?
Yeah.
The stored procedure and this procedure, you are completely, the way you are creating is completely different, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
That means completely different in the sense the steps, the approaching you are going to is completely different. May I know what you are intended to do this and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
intention
Hmm.
why you are going different way?
Yeah.
Why
In,
can't we use the existing procedure?
yeah. In the earlier approach, I have not created the procedure as part of a package, right? I have not created that as a package. Okay. What are the procedure we have
Okay.
created? What are the procedure we have created in the SQL console? Will come and sit in
Mm-hmm.
our schema. Okay. Will come and sit in our
Mm-hmm.
schema in the sense I can see that particular procedure in the systems tab. Under our schema, we can see
Mm-hmm.
that. Now what I am doing is I am putting that schema, sorry, I am putting that procedure inside what? A package. Why? Because when you are creating the database procedure proxy, the syntax always it takes it as what? Package name dot procedure name. Package name dot procedure name. Okay, if the procedure is
Mm-hmm.
existing
Okay.
independent, if the procedure is existing independently, it cannot, we cannot create the procedure proxy on top of that. That is the reason I'm creating that under a package.
Okay. In that case, why don't we simply create the first package and under that we can create the schema. Under that we can create our procedures. Is the
Yes,
normal way.
yes, we can. But why I came for this
Okay.
approach is before SP05, we used to create the stored procedure. See, sometimes what happens is this procedures might be created by ABAP consultant or it can be created by the what? BW consultant. Okay. So if it is a BW
Yes. Yeah.
consultant, okay, he may not be aware of this particular entire syntax. Whatever the approach we have followed so far is we are writing that particular syntax manually. Okay, so since from ABAP background, we know that. But if you think in a BW consultant perspective, you may not be knowing this syntax. I want this template to be auto generated. That's the reason. First, I went to modular perspective. When I'm trying to create that when I'm trying to create the procedure under the package, it is giving me error saying that it is deprecated. Use what development perspective. Then I came to what development perspective in the repositories tab. In one of the existing package, I right clicked and created, so the template is automatically generated. Template is auto generated, and you can see here if you observe, it is not showing me the package name. It is not showing me the package name, but when I activate this procedure will go and sit in the selected package. Whatever the package I selected, right click, it will go and sit under that package only, so that when you are creating the procedure proxy, we need to refer to that package.
Okay. But by default, we're giving the link between the schema and the package, right? That's why it's going to store in under that package.
Yeah, because yeah, in the wizard, I need to provide the target schema name. That's why this procedure is also database object. All the database objects are stored inside a schema. That's why it is showing schema. But physically, if you see later on, it will go and sit under a package.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
fine. Yeah, others, is it clear so far?
But Sridhar, why we are putting the package? Is that only to transport for the next
No, no, no,
target system?
no, no, no. Transport is again a different discussion. If you want to create the procedure proxy, okay, in that wizard, it will always expect the procedure name as package name dot procedure name. Package name dot procedure name. That's the reason I am storing inside a package. Anyhow, in the next step, you'll understand. Okay. Transportation is one thing. Okay, definitely if it is there in the package only I can transport, but here our concern is not transportation at this stage. Our concern is to create what procedure proxy, which always expects the name as what package name dot procedure name. Done. Okay, so now let me just save it. So I'm having application tool, I'm having save button, control S, I can save it. Then you have to do the syntax check. How to do syntax check? Control what F2. Otherwise in this editor only right click on this and say validate. I repeat, control F2 or right click on this editor and say what validate. When I say validate, yeah, the validation completed with no errors or what warnings. Okay, done. Okay, then I need to activate. So I'm having a button here, what activate, control F3. Yeah, what is this? Okay, here is this button. Okay, this will activate all the inactive objects also. If you want to activate, what is this? Activate SAP ANA development object. Understood? On this application toolbar, wherever I'm placing my mouse pointer, I'm getting the tooltip. Activate SAP ANA development object. Control F3, or else right click on this and say team and say activate. Okay, right click on this, say team, activate. So let me activate here. Okay, so you can see here, just like in our ABAP, it is asking for what assign objects to a change. Again, please don't focus on this at this stage. When you go to transport management, you can we can discuss on this. So if you want to generate new one, just click on new. Okay, I'll just say something test, say okay. Somewhere here you'll have that description test. I'll just choose, don't worry about these things, IDs, all those things. Just what click on new, provide some description, select that particular description, say what finish. Oh, okay, chat. Hmm. Okay. I'm getting an error here. What is that? insufficient privilege not authorized. Insufficient privilege not authorized. Okay, once again, these are all the admin jobs, but still let me try from my end. I'll go to systems. Okay, I'll go to systems. Okay, I'll open my SQL console. Let me try this. Grant select on schema. Sys underscore big 2. These are all the admin job. So let me try whether I can do it or not. Sys underscore repo with what option? Grant option. With grant option. Let me say F8. Okay, it is successfully effected. Fine. Now let me go back to this. I'll right click on this. Okay, I'll right click on this and I'll say team activate. No, still same error. Okay, let me execute this. Okay, it's executed. Let me go to this. Let me save. Right click on this. Say team activate. Good. Okay, so we have to what grant that. See, I got in this black color. It is successfully what activated. It is successfully activated. So all these permissions should be priorly set by the admin. So anyhow, I'll document this in your notes also. Then procedure is created. Now let me check whether I can call this procedure first of all. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to SQL console. First I'll directly manually try to call it from SQL console, then later on I'll create what database procedure proxy. Okay, so I'll go to this. How do you call? Let me just copy this. It has got one output parameter, so I'll just give like this. Let me try F8. No, why I got error? Invalid name of function or procedure. Why boss? Why like that? Okay, okay, let me try like this. Oh, invalid name of function. Done. Okay, fine, I got error here. First of all, I have activated the procedure. It was saying successfully activated. Let me check whether the procedure is created or not. Okay, so where I can check it here, see, observe this. I'll go to the systems what tab. In the systems tab, under this content, try to understand, under this content, what is the package I've chosen? SAP. Okay, done. Under this BC, under this EPM, under this OAA, under this DFG. Okay, let me expand this. Let me cross check here. Yes, under DFG we have what procedures. Let me expand. Good. Okay, we have the procedure. What is this? Get underscore EMP underscore data. Okay, so let me double click on this. I'll double click on this part. Okay, yes, it has opened that. Okay. Done. It is showing like this. sap.bc.epm.oij.dfg colon get underscore emp underscore data. Okay, done. It is showing here fine. Now I'll do one more thing. I'll go back to repositories. Okay, let me close everything. I'm just closing everything here. Yeah, in the repositories tab, I'll go to that package SAP package, same DFG. Let me, yeah, double click on this. Yeah, here also it is shown like this only. Fine, but why I'm unable to call then? Get underscore emp underscore data. Okay, let me open the SQL console. Call sys underscore what big dot, what is that? Get underscore emp underscore data. Get underscore emp underscore data. Done. Wait, I got an error. Invalid name of function or procedure. Okay, it is giving the error. Okay, I'll do one thing. Let me try to prefix with the package name. What is that package? sap.bc dot what epo dot oa dot dfg. Let me cross check. I'll cross check once. sap.bc.epm. Okay, not epo. epm dot oa dot dfg dot colon. Let me try to give like this. Done. I'll say F8. No, still I'm having the error. Okay, let me give it as dot. No, I'm getting error still. No, same error. Invalid name. It is not recognized. No. If I double click, it is showing like this only here. If I go to Systems tab, let me go to that package sys underscore big. Okay. In this, if I go to procedures, yeah, this only. Okay. You can observe here. I have stored in which schema? Sys underscore big. Under procedures, it is not dot it seems, it is slash it seems. Okay, let me try to refer by using slash. Control C. Done. Call. Now I'll give question mark. Done. F8. Good. Good that we got errors. Okay. So far, in our SQL console, what we used to say schema dot procedure name. But here you can see when I'm using the wizard, when you go to that sys underscore big schema under procedures node, it is what is the procedure name? Get underscore emp underscore data. What is the package name? sap.bc.epm.oa.dfg, but it is not dot it seems, it is slash it seems. Done. Okay. Hope it's clear to everyone. Okay, the mistake was I was using dot. It should not be dot, it should be slash it seems like this. Okay, so we have created the procedure successfully. Now what is our agenda now? This procedure I need to expose it so that I can call it from what ABAP reports, I can call it from UI5 applications, whatever it is. Okay, so for that, first what I'll do, I want to expose this as what? Database procedure proxy. So let's see how to create that. Again, before I continue, any questions so far?
Sir,
Yeah, Ramkrishna, tell me.
you have mentioned something like repositories. Where we need to go, because I have missed first 10 minutes of the session.
In the ANA development perspective only, okay, so
Mhm.
far we used to do the development in the systems tab. Now go to
Okay.
repositories tab. Go to repositories tab. In one of the existing packages, we don't know how to create our own package. So in one of the existing packages, just what I did, I went to this package, DFG package, right clicked on that, I created the procedure. I
Okay.
created.
Is it a mandatory procedure to go to the SAP and then DFG?
No, 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 no. Wantedly, I went for this inner package, which is created, which is
Okay.
already existing. You right click on any of the what existing package, say new, other, choose what stored procedure and continue. Okay,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
So once I create, now I want to expose it. So before I expose it, I want to check whether it is working fine or not. So what I did in the SQL console, I'm trying to call. Already we know how to call, but so far we are simply saying schema name dot procedure name. But now my procedure is there inside a package. So what I have to say, it seems schema name dot package name slash, it seems slash. How do I know that? Again in the repositories, again in the systems tab, under this schema, what is that schema? Sys underscore big under procedures node. Okay, just right double clicked on that, it is showing me that.
Okay.
Here it is showing.
So, I
Yeah,
mean, the way how we followed for the last classes, that kind of procedure will not be exposed as a procedure proxy, you mean?
because it is not there in a package. It is not there in a
Okay.
package. Directly we are creating that in what? Console.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Done. Now it is successfully executed. Okay. I got the result also here. Now I need to create what? Database procedure proxy. So
And there one more question. If is
yeah, yeah.
already procedure is existed, can we link that procedure to package?
Yes, yes, yes. Just like in ABAP environment, if you store anything in a local object, at later point of time, if you want to transport, it can be stored in a transportable package. Okay, here also it is possible. Okay, but again,
Okay, sir.
that transport manual is a separate discussion. We'll discuss at a later point of time. Okay, we can.
Hello,
Thank
sir.
you. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hello, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Sir, what is the advantage of the package
In ABAP, what is the advantage of a package?
to transport the from the development to quality and
Same,
quality and the production?
same thing here also. Same thing here also. Okay, it must be stored in a package, then only we can transport. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so now what is the agenda now? I need to create what? Database procedure proxy. So far we are doing the development in which perspective? ANA development perspective. If you want to create the database procedure proxy, you need to switch to ABAP perspective. You need to switch to what? ABAP perspective. So how do you switch to ABAP perspective? Choose the menu window, perspective, open perspective, other. Here somewhere you have to choose what? ABAP perspective. Okay, I can choose this ABAP perspective, or else on my application toolbar already one icon is there, ABAP perspective. Let me switch to ABAP perspective. Done. Okay, so I'm in the ABAP perspective now. What is my requirement now? I need to create a database procedure proxy. So how do you create? See this. Okay, this is one of my connection. I'm in which tab here? Project Explorer. It is trying to ask. It is asking me to connect. Let me connect here. Okay, it is successfully connected. Now, what I have to do now, I need to create the database procedure proxy. So how do you create? Again, we have not created our own package in the ABAP perspective also. So what I'll do, I'll right click on the local object. Okay, I'm trying to create what? Database procedure proxy. So I'll right click on the local object. Okay, got stuck. Just hold on for time being. Yeah, right click on the local object, or you right click on any one of the package already available. Let us not focus on package thing now. Right click on the local object, say new. Yeah, here I don't have that. So I'll go to what? Other ABAP repository object. Okay, other ABAP repository object. Done. Here I need to check for what? Database procedure proxy. I don't know where it is available. Let me try to filter. So I'll type what? Database. Yeah. Under dictionary node it seems we have a database procedure proxy. I'll choose database procedure proxy. Say next. Done. Package.ym. Yeah, you can see here it is asking. This is a wizard again. Create a database procedure proxy. Name. What is the name here? I'll give the name as, you can give any name. What is my procedure name? Get underscore emp underscore data. So I'll give it as Z get underscore emp underscore data underscore proxy. Any name you can give. I gave it as what? Z get underscore. It's not compulsory that you have to start with Z, but since you have ABAP background, I'm following that what coding standard. So I'm starting with Z. Description. I'll give the description as get employee data proxy. Done. You can see here based on your proxy name, it is generating one interface. Based on your proxy name, it is generating one interface. Again, this interface I can view in the class builder. If you go to SC24, I can view this. Okay, let me document it for my reference. Okay, this is my interface name. What is the name of the database procedure proxy? This is the name. Done. Now here you can see it is asking the ANA procedure. It is asking the ANA procedure. When I star indicates mandatory, I'll just put the cursor here. Yeah, you can observe all of here. Expected ANA object name format. Package name dot object name. Hope it's clear to everyone. Package name dot object name. Package name dot object name. So where it is available in one of the package sap.bc.epm.oa.dfg. So and so. I don't know all those things. So what I'll do is we'll have an assistance here. Okay, what is this? Content assistance available. Content assistance available. Okay, hold the control key and press what? Space bar. You'll get the assistance. Okay, so I'll hold the control key, press space bar. It is loading. Done. So you can see here it is showing me all my procedures, okay, which are there in the package. Yeah, you can observe all of you. Get underscore emp underscore data, which is part of which package? sap.bc.epm.oi.dfg. I'll just choose this. Done. Okay, is it clear to everyone why I went for packaging? Okay, if I what you can do as a practice is, if you have time, you create the procedure directly in the SQL console without giving any package name and try to refer it here. It will not recognize. Okay, so I'm giving this. Hope it's clear to everyone. This is my procedure name. Say next. Say next. Done. Since I'm trying to store it in a $TMP, it is not showing me any transport request here. Say finish. Good. Okay. Yeah, you can see now. This is my ANA procedure. Get underscore emp underscore data is my procedure name. And what is the database procedure interface? Z if underscore Z get underscore emp underscore data underscore proxy. This is the parameters. Just click on, there is a button synchronize. Forget about that synchronize for the timing. We'll discuss that later on. Somewhere you'll have the activate button here. Yes, we have the activate button. Control F3, just activate so that the database procedure proxy gets activated. Don't disturb anything here. Okay, these are the what signature of your procedure. I'll just click on what activate. Done. You can see the status in the message bar, status bar. Message on the status bar. Activation is successful. Done. Once it is activated, you can consume it from what? ABAP report. We can consume it from ABAP report. Okay, so now let me go to Let me go to class builder and let me check whether I can see that interface or not. I'm just trying to connect to this thing. I'll go to class builder SC24. What is the interface got generated? Done. Click on display. Yeah, you can see now. Generated for good. Generated for which database procedure proxy? Z get underscore emp underscore data underscore what proxy? This is my database procedure proxy. Done. And what is the signature of this interface? No sub interfaces, no attributes, no methods, no events. I think types will be there. Yes, you can see now one type is there. What is this? I tab, because my procedure is having one output parameter I tab na. Done. Okay, let me click on this direct type entry. Done. That I tab is what type there? It is referring to my table Z my EM or my EMP department. It has got two fields. EMP add in what? Ename. So it has generated the type. So referring to this interface, okay, referring to this interface, I need to consume it from my ABAP report. Am I clear to everyone why I went for package concept? Any questions?
Sridhar, can we see existing database proxies in just like S proxy something?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Okay, just like a PI proxies, we can see in the transaction called S proxies. Is the same thing can we able to see for these database proxies in separate transaction?
No.
Is it just like if I want to collection of already existing proxies?
I am not aware of the T code. Can you please tell the T code, Plaro? What is the T code?
S proxy. Yeah.
Okay, I went to that.
Generally, it's there in ABAP. PI is there in a source under source under ESR or something. Yes.
Okay, I'm not aware of this T code, Plaro. Can you check it offline and let us know that? Okay, we can see it in that HANA studio we can see, but here I'm not aware of that.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks. You can look.
Yeah. Done. So what we have done is we have created the database procedure proxy. So on behalf of that proxy, what happened? One interface got generated. So when you are consuming it from ABAP report, okay, I need to refer to this particular interface components, and we need to what consume it from our ABAP report. So this is again a different syntax. Last class we have seen how to use ADBC. For this also you need to follow certain steps. I'll discuss that in the next class. I'm running out of time for next batch. I'll discuss this tomorrow. But till this part, if you have any doubts, please ask me. So once the interface is available, it means that the proxy is successfully generated. So as a practice, what you can do is you directly create the procedure in what SQL console and try to create the database procedure proxy. It will not recognize. In that wizard, we have to give what package name dot procedure name. Since my procedure is not part of any package, it will not recognize that. Even if you manually hard code also, it will say that there is no proxy available, there is no database procedure available in the catalog. So that's the reason I'm going for wizard. And in that wizard also, before SP05, we used to develop that by using what modular perspective. But from SP05, they have deprecated that. we have to come to what HANA perspective only. Right click on any one of the package and create your database procedure. Okay, while creating the database procedure, the template is automatically generated. In this template, we understood about this parameters, language, default schema. This part we know. This part I'll discuss tomorrow. It's again theoretical discussion. I'll discuss this tomorrow. Okay. Any questions till this point? Let me know.
Sridhar, can you just show me how to put that, the procedure into the package in the console?
No, again in that.
The existing ones.
No. For that again we have to discuss about delivery unit, Praveen. Okay.
Yeah. Got you. Yeah.
Okay. So it will take some time. We should first of all create the delivery unit and then assign the delivery unit to a request, and then you put that inside a package. So again, it's a different configuration. I'll discuss that once I complete this procedure concept. I'll discuss the transport management only, so don't worry about that. Right, I'm getting calls for the next batch. Any other doubts here? This part. So I'll share this today's video and last class video also I have not shared. I'll share these two videos by afternoon today. Referring to that, you please practice so that tomorrow we'll see how to call it from our ABAP report. Okay. Any other questions? Chalo then. So I'm winding off. We'll continue tomorrow then.